Yo, 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 you know what it is. It's your man Wild Card Mar back here. Another Taco Tuesday. Hey, and of course, Taco Tuesday. Got my man Randy Weber in the building. Hey, we're talking Micah Parsons, no longer in Big D. He's out in Wisconsin. We're getting y'all ready for NFL Week 1. It kicks off Thursday. Full weekend of football. And of course, we got to get some college football reactions. And Randy Weber actually watched college football. Shocking. I know. Talk about it all. Hey, tap in with us. It's the I.O.W Sports Show Late Night Owl Edition, episode 480. Let's go.
Yeah. Solid Hill TDS, what's up? Yeah, come on. I.O.W Sports Network, Late Night Edition. Let's go. Come on.
We about to raise the bar. Wild card Mar. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk. Modelo Le Cigar. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card Mar. We about to raise the bar. Wild card Mar. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk. Modelo Le Cigar. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card Mar. Hey. L Boogie with the hot flame, ashtray full of top names, little tree for your membrane. This the 9 hour time frame. I just snatched up a 6-pack, got my hands on a lid pack, whipping up a little batch of snacks. Yeah, man, I think I'm all set. Late night, can't sleep, go ahead and just tap in. Better grab you a cold one, and we about to get some laps in. Wild card on the microphone, he'll hit you with a couple flurries. Y'all need to just strap in for some entertainment sports commentary. We about to raise the bar. Wild card Mar. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk. Modelo Le Cigar. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card Mar. We about to raise the bar. Wild card Mar.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, y'all saw at the top of the episode. Hey, talking a lot of sports. So let's get to it. That's your man Wild Card Mar. My man right there to my left, your right. That's the big homie Randy Weber. And he's already popping his gums about the trade. Check out the name. Hey, you already starting, bro.
I'm starting.
You already starting already, bro.
Nope, nobody's gonna remember Saquon now. No. Now we have a new worst GM move in our division, and I'm thrilled about it.
You know what? We talked off air. We were gonna try to talk and have a certain line, but damn it, we here. Micah Parsons in Green Bay. I didn't see this coming, and if those who watch the content, literally, me and Randy was just here a week ago, Tuesday night, and I told Randy, ain't no way. It ain't happening. Matter of fact, I was so confident the following day, on a Wednesday, I had my homie, Tyler Drummond, good friend, wrestling friend. We met through a wrestling page here on Facebook, but, good friends. And we talked ball. I had him on last year. And this is what I was so confident. This is what I said to him.
He has that mentality yet. I think he's working on getting the players. We'll talk about a player they could pick up here that the noise has been very loud, and I'm very excited about it, even though I'm going to get my heart broken.
Yeah, but, I'm letting you, if the player you're talking about, I'm just letting you know right now, it's a wild dream. I don't think it'll happen.
I don't think we're talking about MP, right?
Of course.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Now,
I don't think it's going to happen either. But that guy was laying on the medical table, man. He's said Jerry Jones has said some things. He said some things. I don't know that relationship is repairable. Now, whether he gets shipped to Green Bay or not, I don't know. But the new executive vice president of the Packers has went on record to say that he wants to make a big splash right when he comes in. This would be that big splash. But I ask myself, like, at what's the cost, because you get Micah Parsons, you're easily giving up at least 2 ones. You're probably giving up a 2 in there, and maybe throwing in someone like, Lucas Van Ness or Rashawn Gary, worst case scenario, to really thicken that deal and get it up. So I look at the Packers situation. Yeah, they're the youngest team in the NFL, but they on their 53-man roster, they got 19 players that are in their contract year. So you bring on a player like Micah Parsons, he's not a 1-year rental. You're definitely going to pay him for the next 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
So can you give up the draft capital knowing you've got that many players that are split in town next year? Like, I think you're going to need those draft picks to refill some holes. So I don't know if it's a wise move, but man, he makes the defense, he elevates the defense. All of a sudden we're Super Bowl contenders unquestionably. That defense is stacked.
And that was the homie, Tyler Drummond, literally Wednesday. And funny enough, Thursday, the trade goes down, man. And obviously, you being a Giants fan, you can go ahead and share your sentiments on how exactly you really felt, because I can imagine how you felt. But just talk about the trade overall. How shocked were you? Yeah, go ahead and speak, man.
I'm thrilled. I'm giddy. I'm excited. I'm feeling good. I'm sure Andrew Thomas is feeling good too. He ain't gonna have to deal with Micah no more.
Ain't got his ass no more.
Yeah, no, I didn't think it was gonna happen either. I mean, we talked about the possibility of it happening last week, and we had both said that we didn't think it was gonna happen, and we didn't think it was gonna happen because that's crazy. And Tyler, I'm guessing he's a Packers fan based off the wording he used.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, because I know he's a Bucs fan too. Yeah, he was actually pretty close to what the amount was going to be for him.
He was.
He said 2 firsts, a second, and a defensive player.
Yeah. Instead,
they got 2 firsts and a defensive player.
Man, hey Randy, not to mean to cut you off, bro, but when I saw, and no, this is not a knock on Kenny Clark. I think he's a phenomenal D tackle. Obviously, he is not up there in the range of a Dexter Lawrence, Quentin Williams, damn sure not a Chris Jones, and I get that. All right, that's it's not a knock on him. Right. But when I saw that it was just him and 2 firsts, and granted, the Packers have been a playoff team for the last few years. They actually been probably one of the, I'll probably put them in the top, give or take 14, 15, 16-ish range. So I think they're a little bit above average NFL team. So if you're just breaking down the NFC, I think they're always a top 7 team because there's only 7 spots. But if you're talking about overall NFL, once you add in the AFC, I think they're about a little bit above average NFL team. So those 2 firsts, at the most, the highest they'll probably get is 20, 22, 21, maybe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you're talking about the back half of the first, easily the back end of the first. So you're talking about 20. I'm thinking more like 24, 25 is about as high as you go. So when I saw the compensation, I'm like, damn, Jerry, you got fleeced.
No, it's true. I mean, because 2 firsts sounds like a lot, but if you really think about it, firsts bust all the time, and especially firsts at what would be the mid to lower half of a draft. Those can easily be bust. I saw a meme. I think it was yesterday. It was like the Family Guy meme was like, this. We can have Micah Parsons, or we can have the mystery box. The mystery box can be anything. It can even be Micah Parsons. And that's really true. Like, your best case scenario is getting a player at the quality of Micah Parsons, who you already had, had young. He was only 26.
Yes.
In his prime, just coming off of his rookie contract deal. So it's one of those things that you can look at, similar to the Luka Doncic, the other Dallas move, where you can look at it and be like, this was not made for sports reasons entirely. This was largely made for GM owner reasons. Like, it was made on a managerial basis for Jerry personally.
Oh, yeah.
Jerry, you can tell.
Jerry was not going to pay him Micah's number. He was either going to be my number or bust.
And it was because we had talked about it that he wasn't supposed to be negotiating without his agent anyway. Yeah. That's illegal. Yeah. And he was trying to hold him to that number. He was talking shit about Micah throughout this entire situation. And you could tell, like, it was very much a personal ego thing for Jerry. And that absolutely does happen. I think that happened with Joe Shane and Saquon, right? Like, I think that's a big thing with the Bengals and Trey Hendrickson. Like, ego plays a role into it for sure. But like, that being said, when you see it so blatantly, and then you see that they didn't do much shopping for Micah at all, like, you could tell, considering how out of nowhere the deal was, that it was similar to Luka, where they just called like one team and was like, "What will you give me for him?" They said this, and he was like, "Fine, just get rid of him, get him off my hands." And yeah, like, I think that, because I remember when Myles Garrett got signed by the Browns, I had said, given the whole situation with the team, it probably made more sense to trade him for a haul, because you could get a haul for him. And I would think the same thing in a case like the Cowboys, considering how many issues they have, how many holes they have. The defense was still terrible even with him on the field, similar to the Browns last year, even with Myles. O-line suspect, the worst running back room in the NFL, all of those problems. But the situation with the Cowboys is different because Dak is on a guaranteed deal.
Already paid. Lots of money.
Yeah. And it's also with a no trade clause. So you can't even really use this to rebuild, at least not within the next year. So even looking at it from that logic of like, well, we're doing this because we're rebuilding, but you're not even, A, you could have gotten more to rebuild with, and B, you can't even switch quarterbacks. So it's not like you're changing what your ceiling is going to be within the next couple of years, regardless.
Yeah, because you only go as far as Dak takes you.
Right. And now you're giving someone who's shown, even with a good team, they can't get you to a conference championship game. Now you're giving him a bad team to try to work with. And you can't trade him for a quarterback with a higher ceiling.
Cool. One, he's the most expensive he's the most expensive player in all of the NFL.
Yeah.
Damn quarterback in the whole NFL. Wrap your brains around that one. So that definitely makes it damn near impossible to move him. Salary.
It sure blows a hole through the myth of meritocracy that Dak Prescott is the most expensive player.
I mean, you look at just, and so like my initial reaction was like, whoa, because one, I just showed and on last week's show, I was adamant, ain't no way you do it, because just let's look at the logistics of what Micah Parsons is. Look at the amount of sacks he's had in the regular season, compiled over since he's been in the league. It's not too many names above him. I can't remember where I saw the stat, but it's maybe 2 or 3 names above him, and those 2 or 3 names they like that. They're the big dogs. 2, he's 26, and you're talking about a premium at pass rush, which you need pass rush in the NFL. You absolutely need to have it. You have no more DeMarcus Lawrence, even though he was injury riddled, but when he was healthy and on the field, he was a solid D lineman. But he hasn't been that guy in a minute. He's been injury riddled. He's been, has been harping his play last couple of years. He's not healthy. Okay. Besides that, what logical answer could Dallas say that you still have a pass rush? I haven't seen much of that to say that, and Cowboys fans can come in here and correct me if I'm wrong. But outside of Micah Parsons, what else is there to say that they have a legit pass rush? You look at
they lost both of their pass rushers.
Yeah. So you look at that. You also look at the actual compensation that you should have got back from Micah. Not only should you gotten a couple of ones, you probably could have thrown maybe a 2 and a 4 in there just to sweeten the pot, and a defensive player, because that's how I think how good Micah Parsons is. That's how I think, and not just me. This is talked about with him amongst the NFL community. They look at Micah Parsons as one of the elite pass rushers in the NFL. You have that, and you don't get the. That's why I think where he really got fleeced is there are a couple of other teams that already reported saying, "Man, what? That's all you got? I would have gave you the house for him. I would have gave you this. I would have gave you that." Teams have already thrown out reports that, "Hey, bro, if that's all it took to get him, in hell, why did we make this deal?" You know?
Yeah, exactly. Like they didn't even spend the time to shop him around. And like, I get because Jerry said, and it's true that one of their biggest problems was stopping the run, and one that's true largely because you had Micah Parsons, and now without having him, now pass rush is going to be a bigger issue than run stopping is going to be. But two, if that's your issue, I probably would have tried to get Rashawn Gary over Kenny Clark.
That was
at least because you need the edge replacement now, and Rashawn Gary is also a good run defender.
Rashawn Gary, I've seen him lined up inside and outside with the Packers.
Yeah,
they used him anywhere. They like, hey, whatever our matchup is, we feel best you win it. That's where we line you up at, and then that's how they used him. I don't know.
Yeah, and that makes more sense given the needs that they have. Exactly. And also you lost Micah's versatility. He can also play linebacker. You can also do off ball. Like now you sacrificed that in addition to him as a pass rusher, as an edge.
Randy, the point of trades in sports is to make sure that the compensation is equal. As a GM, that's your job.
Yeah.
Anytime you make a trade, let's make sure the compensation is equivalent to as each other's compensation as best as possible. Have there been one-sided trades? Yes, this fits that criteria. This is especially if everything works out how it was supposed to. What we think of Micah, what we think he is, how great he is, and you line him up with Rashawn Gary, I think that's a problem. Good luck with that. And I'm like, oof. That's crazy. And Rashawn Gary was happy that happened. Now, with all that being said, you know what? One thing that they're not really talking about, and we kind of talked about it off air, a lot of people who really weren't paying attention to this back issue with Micah Parsons. And the only reason why I bring that up, Randy, is because, look, obviously, I'm not in the physical condition of Micah Parsons. You caught me. I'm not as fitness as him. Okay. I never had the chance to play in the NFL. You caught me, guys. All right, cool.
Slacking.
Yeah, I'm slacking. Well, what I'm saying is whether you're 38 and, slimming down like me, or you're 26 and can complete physical peak fitness like Micah Parsons, one thing that'll sit your ass down is a back. I don't care how fit you are. I don't care how great you think you are. Go ask certain athletes where her back has literally changed the trajectory of a person's career. Here, I know it's a different sport. Look at David Wright in Major League Baseball. He was on the precipice of a Hall of Fame Major League Baseball career. His back fucked up. That man couldn't play no more. And the trajectory of his career went straight. They still love him over there in Mets land. Fans, they still love him. Because they know what he did for him. But you know what? Once his back started getting jacked up, he was never the same.
Larry Bird, too.
Larry Bird. He is a Hall of Famer. But look at what Larry Bird, look at the time frame of his greatness. It's not going to be your 15, 18, and damn sure ain't going to be your 22 career of greatness. His greatness was almost like that whole 80s decade.
Yeah.
It's just right there. That's like 9-10 years, which by all means is a solid career. But the way that we talk about Larry Bird and the aura around him, you would have thought this man played 19 years.
Yeah, he packed a lot into that short amount of time. But yeah, he could have had a much similar to his enemy Magic, right? Like their careers are both cut short. And I mean, like right now we're talking about Matthew Stafford. We're trying to decide what he's going to be like with his back, with with whatever back issues.
I have no idea what he's going to be because, and I get it, he's played a lot of football hurt, getting his ass kicked in Detroit since 2009, and I understand that. But damn it, you can't out-beat a fucked up back. That'll take the strongest man down to his knees in a heartbeat. Don't believe me? Come on. This man talking about I need an epidural. Huh? Just to play? Are you that jacked up? You need medic, and just so you know, that's not going to be a long-term fix, long-term solution. Eventually, you know, they hate to try to do back surgeries because they're risky as hell. But more times than not, you'll probably never be the same, regardless of that surgery or not, Micah. And I think that's the reality of maybe Jerry. And this is, I don't like to give credit to crazy motherfuckers. But is it plausible, Randy, that I think Jerry kind of knew what's up? I think he kind of knew.
He might have, but my theory is that this, especially considering how performative he was with it, the way that he was laying on the table and how out of nowhere it came, my theory is that Micah is putting on a show because the deal is he could have sat games, but he wouldn't have gotten paid. He didn't have a lot of leverage other than sitting games. I think that he put on a show of prove that my back isn't hurt or trade me, because otherwise you're stuck with me, right? You're stuck with me sitting, and we could do this all day, but I want to go somewhere else. And that would also explain why they rushed the trade of, well, shit, we can't prove that he's not hurt. We gotta ship him off, right? Because
in opening days next week.
yeah, exactly. Like the dramatic way that he laid on the table, like that doesn't seem like something you would do if you really wanted to be playing
or be part of that team.
Right.
Yes.
Well, yeah, playing for that team. Yes.
I got you. I'm picking up what you dropping, and I think that's just another factor of all this, and we also got to take into account is Jerry freaking Jones. All right. I don't know if anybody's peeped out that Dallas Cowboys documentary on Netflix. I suggest you do, because in the first 30 minutes, maybe even the first 15 minutes of episode 1, it'll literally explain what Jerry Jones is and how he operates from his own mouth. And it's been something that we talked about on this show. We've talked about it at nauseating amounts about how he loves the Dog and Pony show. Any publicity is good publicity. The circus, it equals the big. This man had this literally in his plan to make what the vision of from the beginning. Literally, this is what's his plan from the beginning, was to at least make it seem like, we got the greatest show on earth. And that's what he's done with the Cowboys. Now, I get what football fans are saying. Now, they're not the greatest show on earth. We know this. They're not good. All right? But what I'm saying is, when it comes to actual creating the clicks, the talks, he's always making sure that the Cowboys are talked about, no matter whether it's positive or negative. They're going to be part of our podcast, their podcast, their podcast. They're going to talk about it on FS1, talk about it on ESPN, talk about it on all the talking heads, major sports networks. And he's succeeded at that. Obviously, we see what the team is valued at. I think $12.6 billion. So if you watch that documentary, it'll explain Jerry Jones to a T, and it puts perspective on why this trade actually happened.
Yeah, for sure. It was personal. Like or personal / showmanship, but it was not because he thought this made them a better football team.
Oh, without a doubt.
and that's why Cowboys fans are pretty universally pissed. There are some like Skip Bayless that are coping, but you could tell there's a reason why they're going out of their way to cope, because they know it's not true. They know the team is worse now.
You know what you gave up. Because when he was in your uniform, you didn't have to worry about number 11 on the defensive side showing up in the regular season game. because he 4 times than not he did. And you know, if you wait, our best pass rush, and we ain't got no other pass rushers. And okay, Kenny Clark, he helped stop the run, but can he pass rush too? Is he going to get sacks? Because you eliminate one problem, but created a new problem.
And I don't even know if they eliminated that other problem because, like, yeah, Kenny Clark is a good run defender, but he can't do it alone. That's the rest of their D line is buns after him.
Suspect, very suspect. So yeah, no, that's a fair point. Don't even know if they even nixed out the original problem they were trying to address by getting Kenny Clark back in the training. Here's the thing that makes it real crazy with Jerry Jones, and I think this is the reason why he ultimately pulled the trigger. He's like, I'm not gonna get this guy at my price. Cool, but I've done enough showmanship circus. I done already did the podcast tour, talked to my good old buddy Stephen A. Smith. I didn't talk to Michael Irvin, on his podcast. So he did the tour. So, and he already talked about it. He's like, all right, enough is enough. Because this dragged on all through off season. This could have been eliminated almost three months ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this could have been, matter of fact, this should have been something that should have been nixed at the draft.
Yeah, and that's what I always say is it makes so much more sense instead of dragging these things out, because every single time a top player gets signed, they become the most expensive player of that position in NFL history, right? It's a race, it's inflation. You want to beat the inflation. If you want Micah back, sign him as soon as you can. Mm-hmm. Don't wait for TJ Watt to become the most expensive edge and then Myles Garrett, or I don't remember which order it was, but I think Myles Garrett to also become the most expensive edge, because now you're comparing him to the top 2 edge players in the NFL, but also who are both older.
Yeah.
So now he can look at them and be like, okay, well, they got this much. Now I want this much. And you wouldn't have had to deal with that if you had signed him at the end of the offseason.
I think it's Jerry's arrogance, if I'm really being honest.
For sure. Yeah, 100% it's that.
Because and obviously I don't know Jerry, but just obviously observing as a football fan, I'm thinking he's probably looking at the situation like this. It could have been a lot cheaper for me, like you said, had I paid him before TJ, had I paid him before Myles. It would have been cheaper. Yes, it would have cost you still a shit ton of money, but it would have been cheaper than that. Mm-hmm. And similar to Dak, he waited for Dak. There was a whole bunch of other quarterbacks that got paid before Dak, and then now you stuck with this number with Dak that either you exceeded or you reset the market, or
he did the same thing with CD. He waited too long, and that bag price ended up going up too.
Because Jamar got paid. No, I think Justin Jefferson got paid.
Yeah.
For sure. There was a couple of other wide receivers. I think AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Tyreek Hill readjusted his. Jalen Waddle might have got a contract in there. Amon-Ra St. Brown got his. So there's like a whole buttload of wide receivers that just keep resetting the market, and then now you're stuck with this number. Now he's lucky he didn't wait till Jamar got paid, because Jamar's exceeded everybody. So, but yeah, you're right. It's like Jerry, because of his arrogance, he waits, and I think it's because he knows that he's going to make that money back and then some because of his business acumen. And granted, he's done a great job turning $150 million into $12.6 billion over 30 years. All right.
The most expensive team to not make a conference championship game. He's managed entirely on vibes to make this dynasty enormous. So that's definitely something. Usually teams have to win to become that expensive.
Exactly. And he's done on his winning early. And so that's what I've always kind of said to Cowboys fans is, if you were alive to see it, you better cherish it, because he don't care about winning no matter what he tells you. And this is a move right here where, obviously, I'm still worried about the back, but if all things are good as a go, and probably that's a whole bunch of nothing, Micah Parsons is still Micah Parsons. Mm-hmm. And I get it. His arrogance is probably saying, "Hey man, I married this team 12.6 billion. I paid 150 mil for them. All right, I won some Super Bowls. I love being this cash cow. And whether people, Cowboys fans, you want to live in the delirious world or not, I'm gonna tell you the real. You keep saying, man, I can't wait for him to pass away. For what? You do know that the people in charge behind him are his seeds.
Yep.
He got 3 kids, and they all in the front office with him. Who do you think is about to run this team when he passes away? They're not selling that team.
Yeah. And you know that they think the same way, you know.
Thank you, Randy. Like, are we being that? We can't be that oblivious Cowboy fans, are we? I mean, I know some of y'all are. I'm talking about as a whole. Y'all all can't be that gullible.
It is always their year.
But y'all can't be that gullible as a whole fan base, thinking that things are going to change when he croaks. It's his seeds. He's been grooming them since. Literally, if you watch the Netflix special, it would explain to you exactly what you're dealing with.
I think grooming is actually the perfect word for it, too. He absolutely has been grooming them with that mentality.
It's been grooming them to run a circus where the headlines, as long as you got people talking about you popping. I really need people to really understand and how much shit is really swept under the Cowboys rug because of Jerry Jones. Really. I really, I'm talking about some shit where you looking at these players that he had, even Michael Irvin, and you're like, bruh, you should be in jail right now. I'm being serious. If these stories, if you ain't never called on to them, go watch this Netflix special about the Cowboys. It explains everything, and then it puts everything in perspective, and it puts everything in line on why this trade happened. You will. If y'all don't listen to me about anything that I say, please listen to me on that one. It'll, especially if you're a sports fan, it'll put you in that mind frame of Jerry Jones. You'll be like, you know what? That damn trade with Micah Parsons was just part of the core. It's just part of the circus. Like, come on.
Yeah, no, for sure. But on the Packers end, what do you think this does for the Packers? Where do you think now? Because now their odds in the betting market
they switched dramatically.
Yeah, pretty dramatically after this trade. So what do you think?
Initially, I was like, damn, that kind of puts the Packers in a nice little spot. But me personally, I think I had them slated down as a 5th seed to make the playoffs. First wild card. So I'm thinking probably maybe 10, 11, 12 wins at the most for the Packers. That's what I was already thinking. Couldn't go in as a 5 seed. Obviously, I don't think they win the division. I still think that's Detroit's. I get it. They got 2 different coordinators. I understand that. And, we've seen before, if you lose both of your coordinators, a la Philadelphia Eagles a couple of years ago after making the Super Bowl, you look totally different. And I understand that. That roster is so damn good on Detroit. That roster is nasty. And it's not a knock on Jordan Love, who I think has the tools and the talent, and it served him great sitting for 3 years. Whether people like it or not, it served him to just sit back, watch, learn, listen, shut the hell up, get the mental part. I still think they, I got them. I still got them losing in the wild card. I got them going to the divisional round. So they at least make it to the divisional round as a 5 seed, but they run into Philly. I just think Micah Parsons, as good as he's going to elevate that defense, I still need Jordan Love to elevate his play, because he can't just sit there and just have Josh Jacobs have the season he did last year and your numbers get worse? Huh? What are we doing?
Yeah, so that's I'm kind of in that same boat where like
hurt, and I get it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
From a narrative perspective, it feels like they should have the same year that the Eagles had last year, where they got to flex on us after taking Saquon. Now the Packers, it's their turn to flex on the Cowboys by also winning the Super Bowl, right? Like I think that's part of the reason why everybody's it's changing so dramatically. I think they're going to be better than I thought they were going to be too. I had them being ironically 6-10 and a tie with the Cowboys. That game is turning into a blowout for the Packers now. That's like Micah's having a 5-sack game that day.
Wow. And I think it's in Dallas too.
Yeah, and the Dallas O-line is suspect, so
yes,
Micah's gonna eat. Micah's gonna eat Dak alive. But that being said, they probably
Dak is just fine.
Yeah, it's just fine. He probably wins another game or two. The Packers win another game or two. They might now be the 6th or 7th seed for me and might lose in the first round. And the reason why is the team's solid still everywhere. They were never like an elite roster. It wasn't similar to it wasn't really like the Eagles where they were adding a final piece to what was already an entirely loaded roster. They have a good roster. They have a good offensive line. They had a solid wide receiver core, although Matthew Golden, who's looked really good in the preseason, does look like he's going to be their wide receiver 1, and I hope he does because I just added him to my flex. So he could end up being the guy for them, and that should be a significant improvement. Josh Jacobs is still Josh Jacobs. Their cornerback room was always my biggest issue because after losing Jair Alexander, who admittedly didn't play all the games, he missed a bunch of games like he always does, but he was still, when he was on the field, their best corner. They lose him and replace him with nobody. They have a great safety room, so their secondary should still be good. Xavier McKinney is a star. Evan Williams made the rookie team from last year. He looked good. So it's a lot of solid, a lot of good, some areas that are weak, but some areas that are pretty strong. They only really had the 2 stars in Jacobs and McKinney. Now they have a third in Parsons. Mm-hmm. And then Love is good, solid, but inconsistent. He has some good games and some bad games. I don't think that this makes them a Super Bowl contender. I think that this does raise their ceiling. I think this might be the difference between them making versus missing the playoffs. Because remember, they also have the 6th hardest schedule, and they're in the most competitive division in the NFL. So that might be the difference between them making the playoffs. I don't know if this is going to be an enormous difference maker for them in terms of going deep, having a deep playoff run, but it should still win them some games. They will definitely be better because of this, undoubtedly.
I just forgot that the AFC West and the NFC North both put 3 teams in last year. I just forgot about that. So hey, and that's another factor I think that plays a difference in this. That's why you also add him. You got to get after Jared Goff. Caleb Williams got a better offensive line, so you got to get after him. But he's still sackable, trust. That's another conversation. I'm still not sold on Caleb Williams.
Okay.
And hell, is JJ McCarthy. You don't know what he is. So until you find out what he is, just throw Micah Parsons on his back. And so we'll see how that works out. So there is some offense that you definitely got to pay attention to. And because you need the pass rush, especially if you're going against Minnesota, you better get to that quarterback before he gets it off to Justin Jefferson. All right. Caleb Williams has some weapons in Chicago that he's starting to put together. His friend, love Luke Burton. MIZZOU, my Mizzou Tiger wide receiver, love him. Obviously, Rome Odunze, DJ Moore, they're starting to get weapons. Cole Kmet, if he can start, adding a little bit more to the actual receiving side of his stat line. But And then again, Detroit, you better get pass rush on them. They got weapons all across the whole field. So yeah, this makes perfect sense why Green Bay was in contention to get Micah. Obviously landed him. But
they are also in a division with 3 teams that have now very good offensive lines.
Yeah.
So the pass rush is now especially important. They, I don't know if they necessarily would have the weakest, because they have a pretty good one too. But in terms of being able to break through their opponents' offensive lines, they definitely have a huge boost there.
Look, people can say what you want about the Bills. Look, they've been taking care of business in a sorry ass division. That's not their problem. All right, that's not their problem. But they hell in business. You want to know how the easiest way to get to the playoffs? Win your division. That's the easiest way you can get to the playoffs. You can go literally 8-9, 9-7. It don't matter. Win your division, you're in there, and then all chips is you're all in after that. Anything can happen.
Yeah, and that's because they have at one of the 2 hardest divisions. I'll say probably the hardest. Yeah, I mean, I still agree with you that I had Detroit winning the division. I still do.
Yeah. Until you beat the man, you got to. Hey. Yeah. I know the saying.
Yeah.
You got to beat the man. So that's just what it is until I see further notice. I'm not saying the Packers are not capable of doing it. Adding Michael Parsons does help. That helps tremendously. And the fact that you only gave up some lousy, only 2 ones and Kenny Clark, I think he came out on the good end of this deal.
Right. And I'm also much higher on both the Bears and the Vikings than I think you are. So that is part. I don't even know if they're necessarily the second in line to win the division. I'm sure that you probably do have them as the second in line.
Yeah, I only have him second in line only because I don't know what JJ McCarthy is. Obviously Justin Jefferson is phenomenal. When Jordan Addison comes back, he's shown that he's a very complimentary number 2.
Yeah.
Aaron Jones, when healthy, he's showing that he still has enough left in the tank to still be a solid running back. And you can't sleep on that defensive side of the ball with Brian Flores as the coordinator. And they keep that. I'll put it to you this way. If I don't know what I'm going to get for JJ McCarthy, I know for a fact that Brian Flores and that defense are going to keep me in the game until I figure out what the hell I got.
Exactly. And that's why I'm really high on the Vikings. They made Kirk Cousins look great. Sam Darnold walked into that system after being a bum for years and was an MVP candidate immediately. And the team is even better now with Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave added to it. So if JJ McCarthy can just be the game manager he was in Michigan that won a championship handing the ball off a lot.
Another 11-12 wins.
Yeah. He's not, I don't think he's going to, I don't think he's worse than Sam Darnold. All he has to do is be as good as Sam Darnold.
Exactly. And just don't F it up in the big game. That's it. No, I think you're absolutely right. And so, but just, that division is not going to be a cakewalk. And so, hey, I get it. You still got you got 3 other teams in there that's going to compete. Because even the Bears had 7-10 last year, I believe. So
they were 5 wins for the Bears.
Okay, 5. But hey, you take that Washington game, that's 6. There might be in a couple other games they should have had 7. Right?
Yeah, the timeout game also.
Yeah, so there's at least 2 more that they should have had. So
that would have made it 7. You change those 2.
7-10 teams. So they're going to be floating to get better. Obviously, Minnesota and Detroit are still there, but hey, a lot of football. Let's get some thoughts on week 1 as we're going to go through the matchups, talk about these joints right here, because obviously we're going to start with week 1 schedule when it comes to this Thursday, which, ladies and gentlemen, football is back. All right. I know you love it. Just gotta love it. So September 4th, Cowboys and Eagles. I think we can both agree that that is a Eagles win.
Yeah, I think so. I'd be willing to put some money on a nice, I don't know, 20-point spread.
Oh man, yeah, I think we can agree that it was a week 1 victory. Then of course the Friday game, Chiefs Chargers. Obviously, I'll have vested interest in that. I've already talked about it. If you want to check out what I said, me and my man Chris even went over to Lightning Strike Bolts podcast for the Chargers. Did a collab with them, or Ahead Chief podcast on all social media platforms. We already talked about that game. I'm not going to speak much on it. I think the Chiefs are walking away with this a big ass whooping, 31-14. Yes, I said it. I get what a lot of people are going to say. Oh no, Rashee Rice. Well, the Chiefs have already they had a plan. They knew this was coming. They just didn't know when. And so all you do is just implement it at the first 6 games of the season. That's all you do. We do.
Also, they had 15 wins without Rashee Rice last year.
Thank you. He was gone. We lost him week 4 last year, and still finished the season 15-2. So let's not act like that the Chiefs were that bad without Rashee. I know the offense didn't look as explosive as it used to, but
and y'all would have been 16-1 if you had anything to fight for in the last game.
Yeah, in the last game, exactly. They didn't even play the starters in that one. So yeah, I'm with you. But I know even when I went on the podcast, I know that some of the Chargers fans were like, "Oh, this guy crazy, 31-14. We always play y'all close." Yes, that is the case. But what I'm saying is that there are things in football that goes beyond certain things. And what I mean by is the moment that Patrick Mahomes, Chris Jones, and Travis Kelce, who I know for a fact that this is his last season, the moment he said I do to Taylor, that was it. That was your confirmation that this is his last season. He's going all in. He's lost weight. He's trimmed down. The yards after catch is going to go up this year because he's going to have that little bit of burst left because he's not going to be as heavy as he was last year. 2, Chris Jones is going to play lights out, pissed off. He's mad. There's some other guys that need to step up. George Karlaftis got paid. He needs to show his worth. And here's a name that I want you guys to pay attention: Charles Omenihu. Great defensive end. Now gets a full training camp, full off season with the Chiefs. So he's starting the season off. He's going to start off hot, and he's going into contract year. Tested his market last year, came right back to the Chiefs because there were teams that was worried about his injuries. So y'all know what happened when defensive pass rushers playing on contract here. Y'all know what's up. And then look, I get it. Joe Alt is phenomenal tackle. He's getting to move back to the left side because of the injury to Slater. Okay, so if you're and knowing how smart Steve Spagnuolo is, okay, well, I'm just going to attack the other side with Joe Alt isn't. Yeah, I love Justin Herbert. Great talent, but come on, man. You got to start making your talent match the big moments. And so this is a big moment. I do not see great play from him, and I do not see great play from the Chargers. Go ahead, speak on it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to be a blowout like you do, but I do think that it is going to be a Chiefs win. A lot of the Chiefs wins were close, although a lot of that was also circumstantial. They didn't have a left tackle. They didn't have Rashee Rice. They had to play a control the ball type game, and that led to a lot of that. Josh Simmons has looked really good in preseason, so they may have found their left tackle. Meanwhile, the Chargers lost theirs. So yeah. I thought even disregarding all of that, if Slater was on the field, it's just really hard to bet against the Chiefs. But I would pick the Chiefs in this, especially with Slater out. I do think it's going to be close, though. They do play close.
They normally do.
You are probably going to be playing a similar control the ball style because Rice isn't in, which might have Mahomes with a game-winning drive at the end. But I do think that the Chiefs are going to win.
Be careful, NFL. Y'all been pissing off Patrick Mahomes. He ain't saying it. Y'all pissed him off, and not necessarily y'all as players. What I'm saying is, it's been the Colin Cowherds, the Dan Orlovskis, and they've just been.
The players may have also too, because we're going to talk about the NFL Top 100.
oh, buddy. Okay. Yeah, we'll come back to that because yeah, let's come back to that. The Baker boys, Baker Mayfield and the Bucks go to Atlanta. This is easy for me. I'm going Tampa Bay. I'm not ready for see, and I get it. They normally division game, they play each other tough, but damn it, Baker has been balling ever since he put on the Buccaneers uniform, and I cannot bet against him until I know exactly what you are, Atlanta. So until then, give me Baker. How you feeling?
I'm going Atlanta.
Ooh.
And yep, this is my hot take. So I have said that I think Atlanta is going to be a really good team this year because Penix looked like even in a short time span, looked like a serious improvement for what they were getting with Kirk Cousins. And so they have a quarterback that I think is going to be really good, rocket of an arm. They have a really good receiving core led by Drake London with Ray McLeod and Darnell Mooney. Bijan, who's top 5 running back in the NFL right now. They have a good offensive line, and they should have a great secondary now with what might be a top 3 safety duo in the NFL. The only thing that they've been missing is the defensive line, specifically the pass rush. They invested heavily with draft capital to get James Pierce Jr. and Jalen Walker. I think that's going to pay dividends. I think the fact that they now fixed what was essentially their only problem, they're now going to be really good. I think that the Falcons and Bucks are going to split their series against each other. That's fair. Because this one's in Atlanta, I'm going with them to win this one and then the Bucks to win the one later.
Okay. Fair enough. The Bengals, 1 o'clock game going to Cleveland, Battle of Ohio. Bengals should win this. The reason why I say should is because I would choose that roster over Cincinnati right now. Over Cleveland, I should say. But I'm talking about the Bengals, and I don't care what nobody says. These slow starts is a problem. And I think they're going to have another slow start again. I know they played Joe in that preseason game against Washington. They was like, oh, man, get your reps. We don't need that slow start. And then we saw what proceeded to happen. That did not look good. And I think we got a preview of exactly what we're going to get with the Bengals. It's going to be another slow start. They might 2-2, 1 at the best. But I'm seeing 1-3 because of these slow starts are just miraculous with them. Give me the Cleveland Browns an upset.
Ooh, okay. That would be a nice upset bet for you to make then. I'm gonna go with the Bengals here. I know the slow starts and I know they do it all the time. Like I said, I didn't the last time when we talked about it. I do think that reason why they put him in the preseason was to get that out of his system. Mm-hmm. I think like it can happen, of course, but the Browns are such a disaster that even if the Bengals are playing below their level of quality, the Browns would have to be playing so far above their level of quality to beat even a bad version of the Bengals team. That's I'm still taking the Bengals.
That's wild. Dolphins at Colts. I know you weren't high on the Colts. The only pushback, I can't see them going over. I just don't. They were what, an 8-9 team last year. I can't see them going from 8-9 to 0-17. So that was a bold take. I'll agree with you 1,000% on the Saints going 0-17. But I can't see this roster. I think the defense is solid enough to keep them in games.
They were the 4th worst last year.
I get what you're saying, but they had some injuries in defense last year, and I just think that they have enough to at least, hey man, help us out just a little bit offense. Just give us a little bit, and we'll take care of the rest. And obviously, the question mark comes with what you got at quarterback. The fact that Anthony Richardson has lost his job to Daniel Jones says enough right there for me. I don't know. I don't think it's over in the NFL. I think it's over with him in Indy. That's just my opinion. Because I
agree with that.
I just think the upside of Anthony Richardson, there's still a team that can probably tap into the best of that.
Someone's going to be willing to trade like
exactly
a fifth or a sixth to get him.
His physical greatness is just him. His physical being is something that you literally, when you're built like Cam Newton, you're going to get opportunities. I'm sorry. You're just going to get opportunities to see if we can get the most out of that, because it'll be a waste to just waste 6'5", 265 that can run in 4.3. All right. That's just something you just don't want to not explore to the nth degree to make sure that he's a bust or not. That's all I'm saying. But Daniel Jones has just started. That's enough said. All right. But the fact that Miami's not a great team, I'm gonna go with Colts in Indy opening day.
Okay. Well, so you're gonna see a lot of me picking whoever's playing against the Colts because I have them going over 17. And I do have them going over 17 here.
Oh, man.
The Dolphins do have a quarterback, so that helps, unlike their opponent.
That's fair. I can knock him out with one hit. And trust me. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but I don't think they have the defense to knock him out. And I get what you're saying, right? The defense does look better than it did last year, adding Travarius Ward and the moves they made towards the secondary. Latu might be better this year, although just based off of last year, there's no reason to assume that. Not that he was horrible or anything, just he underperformed. And Harrison Butker is old, and I don't think they're going to have a very good defense. And I also think, on top of the fact, because the offense is so bad, they're going to lose because of that. Because the defense is going to be on the field all the time. So I think all of that's going to work against them. The Dolphins are not a good team. They have one of the worst secondaries in the NFL. That for sure, and that's a big issue. They have one of the worst offensive lines in the NFL. However, as long as Tua's on the field, they still have a good winning percentage with Tua.
They do.
Tua is a very good quarterback. I think he's one of the most underrated players in the NFL. He is very good, and when he's on the field, they do win games. He will be on the field for this game. He still has Tyreek Hill, still has Jalen Waddle, still has Achane. And that's all they really need to be better than the Colts. They also, on top of it, they have a better defensive line than the Colts have. So, on top of the fact that Daniel Jones is also going to be getting pressured, I don't see it. I think the Dolphins are comfortably winning this. When the Dolphins lose Tua, when he starts throwing up gang signs again, then my picks on their games are going to flip. But as long as he's there, I don't think they're going to be horrible.
Yeah, not that he throwing up the Suwoo.
When Tua's going blood in, blood out, then
you gotta chill, bro. Hey, but no, all jokes aside, I mean, I think that's real shit. I mean, the guy is one hit away from possibly his career being done. You can't keep playing with concussions, y'all. You can't.
Yeah, that's why they should have spent at least 3 draft picks on the offensive line, but they don't listen to me.
Not only that. Okay, so not only do you not address your offensive line, your left tackle Terran Armstead retires. How do you not have a legitimate backup plan, as in quarterback wise? Quinn Ewers was looking terrible in preseason, and Zach Wilson is your other option. And Zach Wilson is your other option. This is where. Oh, if Tua goes down, we're okay. No, you're not. If Tua goes down, y'all in trouble.
Yeah.
Y'all in trouble. The season goes down with him for real.
Yeah. No, it's true. The season goes down if he goes down. And so, obviously, if he goes down, then all of my picks are going to flip. but this is Tua Dolphins, and Tua Dolphins are usually not bad. They're at least average, typically. And the Colts are horrible. So I'm going with the Dolphins.
I don't think they're always over it. Yeah. When you put that over 17, I said, "Oh Lord, Randy, I can't wait for this to just get." Oh yeah, we gonna make sure that we try to not make you look crazy on this internet, man, because they gonna cover you once they this was over 17. Oh yeah, we gotta go get him. But Panthers, Jaguars. I think this is a coin flip because I'm not high on either one of these teams. But I think Jacksonville, Duval, they're going to be amped up. I'm curious to see what the Panthers defense is going to look like because the way you looked last year, yeah, you put that defense against Brian Thomas Jr., who I love and had a great, phenomenal rookie season. He's only going to get better. And then, the spot plays that Travis Hunter is going to provide. That gives him a solid, second option wide receiver. Believe it or not, like Tank Bigsby, shout out to my man Kyle Nash, Duval Deep Dive. I had him on the show. And I asked him about Travis Etienne. I don't know what you're going to get with Travis Etienne. Don't be surprised if he gets traded. Because the fact that you put your first round running back less carries as Tank Bigsby was getting off. I'm just saying. But no, if I had to pick a team, which I will, I'm gonna go Jaguars. I think Bryce is going to be better. You're starting to give him some weapons. That is cool. That is great. I don't know if they did enough on that defensive side. That defense was straight booty juice last year. It was booty juice. So until then, give me Jaguars.
So I'm going Jaguars too, and this is also I agree with mostly everything, but my analysis is pretty similar.
Yeah.
I don't believe in either team. Both quarterbacks have shown flashes, but both have just been flashes up to this point. So I don't really believe in either quarterback. I don't believe in either defense because the Panthers had the worst overall defense, especially the worst run defense, historically bad run defense. The Jaguars had the worst pass defense in the NFL. So I don't really believe in either defense. Travis Hunter should help if he's playing primarily corner. We don't even know if he's going to be.
I think he'll probably do 60-40 if you ask me. I don't think he'll do
60-40 which direction?
Defense. I think you put him on the corner side, play majority of the defensive side because I think he just by drafting him, and I said this to Kyle, you might got your best corner.
That's kind of what I said. When they first drafted him, I was like, look, you have Brian Thomas Jr. I get that you need another receiving weapon. You lost a bunch of them, but you also had the worst pass defense. I think it makes the most sense what I would have done ideally is have him primarily focus on corner and then make him like a third and long receiver to come onto the field for plays which you need to get the attention off Brian Thomas. Some along those lines, but it should be. I think it's in Jacksonville. I think the team might be slightly better than the Panthers team. Teteroa McMillan has also looked good in the preseason, but I'm getting slight edge for the Jaguars.
Yeah. Raiders go to New England, and because I hate the Raiders this much, New England's getting the W. That's enough said. That's my analysis. I hate you, Las Vegas Raiders.
All right. Well, since I hate the Patriots that much, I'm going with the Raiders. And also, I think that people are way, way too quick to get on the Drake May bandwagon. Drake May looked solid. He had some good flashes, showed some potential last year. He also went 15 touchdowns, 10 interceptions in only like a handful of games. He had more interceptions than a lot of players who started the whole year. I still think he has a lot of potential, but he has Stephon Diggs is not that Stephon Diggs anymore, and he has basically nobody to throw to after that. The tackle duo should be good, but the interior is still sus.
Yeah.
I don't think there's enough talent on the team at this point to be any more than a marginal improvement. Meanwhile, the Raiders have Pete Carroll, who I think is a Hall of Fame elite coach who mastered the craft of reviving Geno Smith previously, now gets him again.
Yeah.
With Ashton Genty, who I still think is going to end up being good, although, didn't look great in the preseason.
Yeah, I got you.
And then Brock Bowers. The offense should look good, and it should be good enough to win this. So I'm going with the Raiders.
Fair. Cardinals.
So Steelers versus Jets.
Steelers, Jets. Look, interesting matchup. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers goes back to his former team for the last 2 years. People might not agree with me on this one. I'm going Steelers, and I think Steelers going to sneak in as a wild card because mediocre Mike Tomlin is not going to allow Aaron Rodgers to mess up his mediocre team. He's still going to make it to the wild card. He's like, you ain't going to be the one that ruined this for me. No, you're not going to ruin it for me. We're still going to make the playoffs. I still think that Steelers sneak in as a wild card, just off the GP of Mike Tomlin. But give me Pittsburgh in this game.
I'm also going Pittsburgh. My prediction is still that this is going to be his first not winning season because Aaron Rodgers is going to ruin it by trying to take it over in the offense being awful. But they're going to be better than the Jets because the Jets are bad almost everywhere. The Steelers still have an elite defense, and Justin Fields struggles with defenses in general. He's not going to do anything against that Steelers defense. Aaron Rodgers just has to be okay, given that.
Fair. You'll have vested interest in this one. Giants, Commanders. Real quick, I think Commanders squeak it out. Do not be surprised if the Giants cover. I've said this to Randy. I've said this on Medium Podcast. That front seven of the Giants defense is going to be disgusting. And they are going to be damn good. And they're going to keep that team in a lot of games until they figure out what's going on the offensive side. So it behooves Russell Wilson to have a good season. Because if you don't, you already know what the G-Man going to do. The fans is going to call for the Dart Man. They're going to call for him. All right? He put on too much of a great show in the preseason. Say what you want. The fans are going to have Russell Wilson on the short leash. Now, if Brian Daboll has the same mindset, he probably won't. I'm just saying. He's probably going to wait later in the season and wait till we're mathematically eliminated. Then I just want to see what y'all should do. No, bro. You need to save your job. I personally think if you're going to go out on your shield, bro. Put Tyson down in there and stop fucking around and just see what the fuck you got, bro.
Okay, so as much as I would love to pick my Giants in here, and as much of a history we have of even when we're bad, all of a sudden turning into Joe Montana's 49ers against the Commanders, I don't think that's going to happen this year. Jaden Daniels is really good. I agree that it's going to be close because I think our defense is going to give him a lot of problems, especially since he is still relatively sack prone, although significantly better than he was in college. And the offensive line they made improvements with in the getting Laramie Tunsil and Josh Connerly in the first round. So I think they'll be prepared to deal with a harsh defense, but the harsh defense is going to still keep it very close. But slight edge for the Commanders, unfortunately.
Yep. Titans and Broncos. Broncos, Cam Ward, I like you, man. It's going to be a rough season, bro.
Yeah, the Broncos are a really loaded team. And I do think Cam Ward has potential. I do think Cam Ward is going to be pretty good. But Bo Nix is already good, and he has a significantly better offensive line, defense. The weapon scores are probably about even, but he has possibly the best offensive line and defense in the NFL. So Broncos.
Yeah. Seahawks, 49ers playing host to the 49ers. This is okay. I'm not sure what they really think of for the 49ers. But I did pick the Seahawks to be a wild card. So I'm going Seahawks in this game.
So you picked them to be a wild card?
Yeah.
Ooh, we didn't talk about that. Okay, I didn't see your predictions.
No. Me and Bobby did it on the Audible on Friday, and then I just kind of pretty much just copied and paste on the Arrowhead Cheap podcast today. But we can get into that a little bit later on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I don't think the Seahawks made a good decision or a series of good decisions in the offseason. I do not think putting Sam Darnold behind a bad offensive line.
Hey, what did Sam do to you, bro?
Look, I'm just calling it like I see it, right? Like his biggest issue last season was dealing with pressure when the Vikings offensive line stopped working. And he started seeing ghosts, and he became an unplayable quarterback. You're taking him and you're putting behind an offensive line that you've had issues with for the past several years. And you had an elite group of weapons, and you took them away, and you gave him Cooper Kupp instead, who's old and is going to play like 7 games. So,
ain't no cap though. I love Cooper, but they're been hurt a lot lately.
Yeah, he's good when he's there, but he's not there a lot. So, all that being said, though, I've had a lot of concerns also with the 49ers. The 49ers losing almost everybody on their defense and replacing them all with rookies. Losing, although Debo was already declining, I don't think that's huge, but I still believe in Shanahan, and I think that Shanahan will turn them into he'll get the rookies to a point where they become good players eventually, but I don't know if that happens immediately. I actually do have the Seahawks winning this game, but I have them splitting the series with the 49ers winning it later.
That's fair. Another key matchup right here. Hey, we were just talking about them earlier. Packers take on the Lions. A lot of divisional games week 1, and I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, me either. There's some good games.
Yeah, some great matchups. Look, until you beat the man, you ain't the man. I'm still really rocking with Detroit in this game because Detroit has made it Lambeau their home away from home. They're not scared to go into Lambeau, especially under Dan Campbell. He's won a couple of games already in Lambeau. So he said, hey, y'all got this mystique of Lambeau. Well, I've been pissing on it because I've been coming in and kicking y'all ass even when we ain't playing for a playoff game. So yeah, give me Detroit.
Yeah, I'm also taking Detroit. Even with the improvement of Micah Parsons, I still think the Detroit is still the overall more talented team. Reno, whatever you think of like them losing their coordinators, I'm not as worried about that as some other people are. I still think they're going to be a great team. Maybe not as good, but I think they're winning this for sure.
Fair. Another great matchup, man. Rams and Texans. All right, if I'm going to keep it consistent, I got to be consistent. If I'm worried about a back on a 26-year-old, I'm damn sure worried about a back on a 35, 36, 30. I think Matthew's 37, 38 plus year old. Give me Texas. That defense going against a quarterback with a bad back. Yeah, good luck. Your mobility is already shot. And yeah. There's a guy named Will Henderson Jr. He's going to start putting his name up there. That's one of the best pass rushers, man. I'm telling you, monster. And Eric Stingley is getting better. Had a phenomenal season last year, and you can see him starting to get it. And he's turned himself into a damn near good corner. Dare I say, knocking on the precipice of top 5.
I think he's already top 5 for sure.
Yeah. I mean, obviously we can have that conversation another day, but he's damn sure top 10 for sure. I only say it there because I don't know what people value at corner, but if you're going based off of last year, he was a top 5 corner.
For sure.
And so that combo of having elite secondary player with an elite pass rush player, I love that. That's how you start building a great team. And yeah,
the Texans and the Rams are actually kind of similar teams in that they have very similar strengths and weaknesses in a lot of areas. I think both quarterbacks are really good, although that's just saying in a vacuum because Stafford has the back problems. We don't know what that's going to end up like.
Yeah.
Both have good receiving cores. Both have great defensive lines. But both also have really weak offensive lines. That was the Texans' whole issue last year, and then they, on top of that, lost Laramie Tunsil, replaced him with Ariante Ursary. We don't know if that's going to be an improvement or further downgrade. Meanwhile, the Rams, their center was the backup for the Bears' terrible offensive line that gave up all those sacks. They lost Jonah Jackson. So basically, it's which offensive line can withstand the horde a little bit better. And on top of that, also with the back injury, I think I'm also going Texans. You also have Danielle Hunter, who is my most underrated player in sports. Like, dude's absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah,
and produces like a top 5 edge, and people just don't talk about him like that.
Yeah, because he's been in Minnesota and Houston. They're not going to talk about them in his play when he's sitting on those teams, which is like you said. I agree with you. Very underrated. No reason why Danielle Hunter's name shouldn't be mentioned with your top. At least put him in the same breath with Trey Hendrickson. Shit.
Yeah. For real. So you got Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter running at you while you're a bad back, and you don't have a good offensive line to protect you.
Good luck.
That's rough.
Good luck.
At least CJ Stroud has a good back. He can withstand those verse attacks.
Oh man, that's crazy. Sunday night, man, they gave us a banger off the rip. Baltimore, Buffalo. I know, man, this matchup right here, it's possible playoff preview for sure. You're talking about 2 of the top 3 teams in the AFC, without a doubt, going at it week 1, and I love it. Thank you, NFL, for doing this. Baltimore's roster is just too stacked. Give me Baltimore.
Same for the exact same reason. If you call the quarterbacks a wash, Baltimore has a better team with theirs.
Yeah. I mean, literally from Derrick Henry to Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely. Then you look at just defense. I just say defense. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't even need to pull out individual names. Just defense. All right. My goodness. And they drafted more at the defensive side.
Good picks too.
Yeah. So primarily them preparing for Patrick Mahomes is not a good situation for Josh Allen, because if they're preparing to go up against elite quarterback play like Patrick Mahomes, you're part of that conversation too, Josh Allen. So they also prepare for you too. And they added more talent on the defensive side. I don't like it. I don't like your weapons going against that defense. I don't. I don't even think this is close, to be honest.
Yeah.
If I'm being for real.
I think it'll be a competitive game just because it's Allen. Like, Allen's always competitive with them. And
that's fine. But
James Cook also,
But do you empty the clip as Josh Allen in week 1 against a team you're going to see down the road? It wouldn't be wise.
Well, so in their last game against each other, not the last regular season game, I think the Ravens beat up on them pretty bad, if I remember correctly. Let me see what the score was for their last game. Ravens.
They didn't meet in the playoffs last year. No, they didn't in the playoffs last year.
Regular season, it was 35-10. So, and that's without the improvements that Baltimore made. So, I mean, Ravens are definitely winning. I'm not sure. Maybe it won't be that close, but at playoff time, we'll see how close it becomes.
Yeah, I just don't see this week 1 going in the Bills' favor. Sorry.
Yeah.
And then Monday night, kick it off. First Monday night of the season, you get Bears Vikings, another good divisional game. You're a lot higher on the Bears than I am. Give me Minnesota. It'll be the debut of JJ. I had to sit out the rookie season due to injury, so he's eager to show that he is the guy. He's going to play, in my opinion, I think he's going to play free football. He's like, hey, I got Justin Jefferson. I got that guy, number 18. I just got to lob it down here and put him in the vicinity of him. He'll catch it. And then, Hawkinson, when he's healthy, I like him at tight end. And I got Aaron Jones. He's a good pass catcher out the backfield. And, I got all faith in my defense in Brian Flores. I'm good. Yeah, give me Minnesota. I think he's going to confuse this shit out of Caleb Williams. He's going to draw up probably one of his better game plans against Caleb Williams. I think he's going to eat Caleb alive. Brian Flores will. Just my opinion.
Okay, so I have the Bears and the Vikings splitting their series, but that being said, I might also go with the Vikings here too, because I think that Caleb is going to get better over time. Yeah. I don't know if he's going to come out the gate really good. I do think that the Bears are going to look wildly different than they did last year. They already look different in the preseason pretty dramatically. Ben Johnson has been coaching them so differently than Eberflus did. The offensive line is so much better. The offensive line is so good now that they should be able to be at least they shouldn't look like assholes against the Vikings defensive line. Despite how good the Vikings defensive line is. So I think the Bears and the Vikings will split, but unlike a lot of the other ones, I think maybe the Bears will win away later after Caleb has had more time.
Okay. Fair take. All right, there it is, folks. I hope you kept track of it. I'll print out something or make a video later on before Thursday's game, just going over my picks, and definitely Sundays I'll have my picks out early. So keep track with myself and Randy. We'll be keeping track of those ourselves, and just that'll be our thing on Tuesday during football season. Just recap the previous week and preview the upcoming week. So that'll be our jam this football season. Of course, we'll talk about other sports when necessary, but right now, NFL is king.
It's really rude for teams to do things after I made my predictions. I made my predictions at the beginning of preseason, then Stafford's back gets hurt, Slater gets hurt, Micah Parsons goes to Green Bay. Y'all couldn't have done this like 3-4 weeks ago. That's rude as fuck.
They say let's mess up Randy's picks and the predictions. Let's make it crazy. Yeah, man, that's funny, dog. But if it means anything, because Micah is no longer there, that Cowboys take looks a lot better now. It looks even. It almost looks like pen and paper, almost. Almost. All I'm gonna say is NFL. So I don't want to say it's permanent, but it is. I'm actually shocked that you're not a big college football fan. So when we were talking earlier, you was like, I actually watched some games this week. What were some of your takeaways from college football week 1, man?
Okay, so the 3 games I watched were the Texas game to see Arch.
Ooh.
We'll talk about it. The Penn State game to see Drew Aller, and then LSU versus Clemson. Because I'm trying to figure out which team I'm going to support because I don't have any connections to any of these colleges. Gotcha. I'm leaning towards LSU because they gave us OBJ and Malik Neighbors.
Give us more. Give us more receivers.
Yeah. So I'm leaning towards them, not necessarily strongly connected to any team yet, but those are the 3 games that I checked out.
Got you.
And I'm sure we're going to start with Arch because it's based off of your ooh.
Hey, I did say on the show I can't even remember if this one or another show. I said Arch Manning can still be terrible and he'll still go #1 pick because of his last name. And I still feel that way. Look, is he going to play better? Hopefully. And I think he will. This game against Ohio State, and I didn't know that Matt Patricia was a new defensive coordinator, so he does come with some NFL cachet, coaching cachet. He ain't the greatest head coach. He flopped in Detroit and ran his ass back to Daddy Belichick in New England, and he took him right back. The good thing about it is that Belichick made him coach not just defense, he made him coach special teams and helped in on offense. So he, get him prepared to coach a full team. So I will say this, when you got to coach a full team, you do get perspectives on how to go at an offense and, tendencies and all that shit. And so Matt Patricia just did a phenomenal job against Arch Manning. And I just think that's just what it is. And it doesn't help that, Ohio State is the Ohio State. People got to realize they top 5 recruiting class year in and year out. Clearly, it's a given. Mm-hmm. It's a given. All right. So they're going to get studs on both sides of the ball. I was slightly surprised how the offense looked kind of dead from Ohio State, but their defense looks legit. Yeah. Hey, the biggest calling card that people are going to talk about is Arch Manning. Hey, man, it happens. How good are you going to be when you're playing quarterback against probably 5-6 All-Americans on one side of the football? Hey, I'm just being honest. Ohio State's legit. They are not scared to spend no NIL money, and it shows on their talent, shows on their roster. Look, it is what it is. It was just a bad day at the office. All right.
Yeah, and also, I think that considering the whole name thing, it didn't really make. I get why people were doing it, right? Because he's a Manning and all of that, and he looked really good in the couple of games he played before. But he played a couple of games before. Now he's starting fully for his first year, and he's going against the reigning champions.
Yeah,
I don't know what people expected. Like that, it wasn't ever reasonable. And meanwhile, like if you look at this, and I'm gonna make this about the Shedeur thing. Shedeur was essentially penalized for his last name. Meanwhile, Manning is giving so much undue credit for his.
A lot of grace.
Yeah, he hasn't
already. Man.
Yeah, he hasn't started a full season of college football yet. Relax. Like, nobody should have expected him to immediately be elite out the gate. He was Quinn Ewers' backup. That doesn't mean he doesn't have potential, but why people shouldn't assume that he's already going to be there, especially against the reigning champion.
Hey, there's only so many quarterbacks on the planet Earth that would have won that game, and none of them are in the college football world. There's some bad dudes in the NFL that would have won that game with that roster, that Texas roster. But it's not a lot of people that would have won that game week 1 against the defending champs with that loaded roster on both sides of the football. I'm with you. I get it. Because of the last name and the hype that's been thrown on him, at least make it a competitive game. He didn't look good. He held on to the ball too long, made bad reads, bad throws. It just wasn't good. All right.
Right.
All right. We can talk about it all day, but one thing I will say is I'm not going to hold this one game in week 1 against Arch. Now, if he performs like that through the whole season, we're having a total different conversation. So I'm not going to write him off of one game. If he throws up another stinker for a couple more games, then we'll come back here on a Tuesday, and 2 weeks from now, I'm like, hey, Randy. I don't know. I don't know. He might be that last name about to carry this, bro. You know me, I'll keep it real. If he starts compiling bad game after bad game after bad game, especially Texas fans. If he loses to Oklahoma in that Red River shootout, that rivalry right there, you definitely gonna see me back on this show and say, Randy, that last name got a lot of weight. Last name got a lot of weight. That's all I got.
Yeah, for real. It'll keep him in at least the first round for sure, for top 10, undoubtedly. Especially because he's a quarterback.
Yeah, and people thought I was crazy. I said, "Oh, if he has a bad year, no, you can't have him number 1 over." I said, "Bro, we're talking about a Manning. They are not going to treat him like a Sanders."
Yeah. No, and I said that before this week started, that I thought it made sense for Arch to try to get as little exposure as possible. Because with the talks of him going back to college, now he might have to, but he was expected to be first overall after playing like 2 games.
Yeah.
So if you can maintain that, it's the same reason why players don't do the combine and stuff. If you can maintain that, if you're already being seen that way, don't risk it by getting more exposure.
Yeah.
Now he's in a position after this where if the season doesn't look significantly better throughout, he might have to do another year in college to make up for this.
Yeah, we'll see. You did mention LSU, and I will give LSU credit because the last few years, Brian Kelly has managed to have his team lose in most oddest of ways. But they went in there and handled business in Clemson, South Carolina. And to be fair, I don't trust Dabo no more. I don't know what happened with bro. That man took down big, bad, mighty Bama in Nick Saban peak twice. And ever since 2019, when they got that ass whooping from LSU, it's kind of like, okay, well, that's cute that you're still one of the better teams in NCAA is because you keep winning the ACC. Cool. Ooh, so tough to win the ACC. But it's like you keep going up against these other powerhouses like the LSUs. If you go against Ohio State or even in Penn State, I think Penn State would give them the business right now. I don't know what happened to Dabo. Yeah. I mean, you watched the game. I saw pieces of it. Yeah, just dominant performance, especially on the defensive side for LSU. They played a lot better than I thought they did.
Yeah, no, I mean both defenses looked really good. And I mean the Clemson defense, it makes sense that TJ Parker and Peter Woods are expected to be the 2 top defensive linemen in next year's draft. So I expected that Clemson's defense was going to look good, and they did. They looked really good. The LSU defense also looked really good.
Mm-hmm.
Clemson, I'm sorry, not Clemson. Nussmeier, Garrett Nussmeier.
Yeah.
Considering how good of the defense was that he was playing, should be given a lot of credit. He did a good job against what was a defense that was really blowing through his offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that he did a good job there. He had really good stats afterwards. Cade Klubnik didn't look as good, although he had some really nice running flashes.
Yeah.
They talked about that was his thing. Like he was a really good dual threat, and it showed. He had a really nice fake out play where he managed to get almost basically to like the red zone, like running around a bunch of guys, and then he like faked out and ran to the side. So I see talent there. The best quarterback of all the quarterbacks that I watched was Drew Aller. Drew Aller, and he was going against Nevada. I know Nevada's not a team in that class, but he looked absolutely dominant. I can see why he's expected to be a top 10 draft pick based off of that. Although I need to see him against a real team to know.
Gauge it, right? Yeah, I got you. But yeah, man, I don't want to say LSU is back, but I will say that LSU Don't be surprised if they mess around and be in Atlanta for the SEC championship game. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Because there are other teams in the SEC that didn't look as good as their name carries that weight. And I'm talking about mighty Alabama. Woo! Caleb, the boys, you better turn this around quickly because you do not want them country bumpkins in your front yard ready to get you up out of Tuscaloosa, boy. Randy, I've never seen a Bama team with no aura. I saw a Bama team with no aura on Saturday. No aura. Yeah, it was Alabama, but no aura. And Florida State was looking like a team that was, look, we just trying to get our respect back. We was doing all that wolfing and crying. We were supposed to be part of the playoffs. And we got our butt whooped in the playoff or in the bowl game because half our team opted out. And, you know, and then we put up a stinker last year. And Norvell definitely was on the hot seat. Florida State dogged them, bro. And I'm not just talking about dog them. I'm talking about in the part of the game of football where Alabama is synonymous of making sure they win. And I'm talking about the trenches on both sides of the ball. They got dominated on both sides of the ball in the trenches. That was a Bama team with no aura, Randy. They in Tuscaloosa right now trying to concoct the most crazy ways how we can get Nick Saban back in this damn coaching job. Oh, they can't. Oh, woo. Bama fans, how about to hate me for this one? Not only are y'all gonna be bad this year, and y'all gonna have just a 500 season this year. I said it because you still got talent. Let's not front on that. All right, talent is not the problem. I think it's the coach. Hey, he's just not Nick Saban. He's just not. And this isn't a you trying to replace the legend type of situation. This is, I just need you to keep us on the same trajectory as the legend. I don't think Caleb the boys can keep Alabama with that same trajectory as a Nick Saban. I just don't. Might be me. Might just be one game. But there was parts of last year where I'm like, this don't look like the Bama team that I know. I'm so used to seeing aura, dominance, especially in the trenches. That was a wake-up call for me when I saw them just getting bullied in the trenches. I'm like, oh, wait, Florida State doing this? Oh, then y'all might get dog walked in the SEC this year. I'm calling it right now. They might finish third in the SEC at best. Third. Right now, I would say LSU's better than them. And the SEC team. I mean, Ole Miss always gets them. Of course, Georgia. LSU and Georgia off the top of my head, off rip. So I ain't even got to Ole Miss. Might be better. South Carolina is already a top 25 team. They look good. And no, I'm not going to be a homer. Say Missouri. I don't think we're ready yet. So those are at least three teams off the top of my head that I would get to in the SEC before I even get to Bama. So might even be four if I sneak in Ole Miss. So Ole Miss, South Carolina, Georgia, LSU, four teams off the top of my head that I would say, oh yeah, they might get Bama this year for sure. No juice, no aura, man. It was crazy. I never seen nothing like that from Alabama team. And last topic before we get up out of here. We had a debut Monday night. It looked good for a second for Belichick.
I was gonna say we gotta talk about the other Carolinas college team.
It looked good for a second.
I just love to see him sad.
Hey, Hey, I think I hit a tweet. I said, damn, Belichick got these 2025 Tar Heels looking like the 2023 Patriots. I said, boy, looking good. Man. Ooh. Yeah, man. What's your thoughts on Belichick? Just him and the Tar Heels is bombing up on national TV. Literally, everybody's watching this game. It's Labor Day, ain't nothing else on. Raw had already aired. They was in Paris, so it was an early episode. So ain't got to compete with WWE. You can easily get college ratings over some bullshit VH1 shows. So I ain't tripping about that. Some BT shows, yeah, whatever. You go out and stink up the joint like that in front of the whole world.
Yeah, it's hard to say what happened. I mean, it is his college coaching debut. Whatever complexities and nuances go along with transitioning from the NFL to college, kind of hard. I'm not sure. I mean, we've seen other coaches do it and do it much better. So I'm not looking to give him an excuse for that. The talent, I know that this is a school that's thought of relatively well, so the talent shouldn't have been the issue. I know they changed a lot of their players, right?
I was about to say that, to be fair, to give Belichick some grace, which I normally don't like to do. I mean, when you flip the roster and 70 of your players are transfer portal, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it's like all new coach and new players. Yeah. So that probably has a lot to do with it. I don't know what you do with that. We'll see what they look like later on, but it was just great. It's just great. I'm glad he's doing exactly how he deserves.
I will say this, Randy. I was surprised because when you think of Belichick teams, you think of well coached, well disciplined.
Yep.
And definitely well disciplined. I saw no discipline. I saw bad tackling, and I didn't expect the defensive side of the ball to be that bad, especially because that's his thing. And I know he has his son in charge of it. Excuse me. I know he has his son Steve in charge of it, but I'm still kind of like that's your calling card, Belichick, is the defensive guru. If anything, give me damn good, excellent defense. That's what you were predicated as your calling card in NFL. Yes, I understand you had Tom Brady, but you had a whole bunch of no names, and you tried to do the best that you could with those names, and you did. It led to 6 Super Bowls. But one thing we didn't have to worry about with Bill was the defense. And so when you started seeing the defense slip the last few years before he got ousted, you're like, it's time for you to go, bro. I was surprised that the lack of discipline in the defense was just non-existent for the Tar Heels under Belichick. I was surprised about that.
Sure. Yeah, no, I just hope they keep playing like that. That's it. I'm just a hater. I got hater energy in my veins.
You hate him. You beat him. All right, you beat him.
I know. I want him to coach exactly like he coached in those 2 Super Bowls for the rest of his career.
I can't. Oh man, that's great, man. Man, we're gonna wrap this thing up. We'll get back to my I'm gonna do them real quick. All right, so this is what I did, Randy. Me and Bobby went over it. So in the AFC, I got Baltimore as a 1 seed, Buffalo as a 2 seed, Kansas City as a 3 seed, Houston as a 4 seed, Denver as a 5 seed, Pittsburgh as a 6 seed, and Cincinnati sneaks in there as a 7 seed. And here's why. 2 years missing the playoffs. Joe doesn't like losing. He's gonna have some smoke in the city. They missed the playoffs this year for 3 years in a row. Just saying. Just saying. I don't say because even you have said it on the show. I don't know if he asked for a trade request. Obviously, he just got paid a couple of years ago, but he will raise some hell if they miss the playoffs. 3rd year in a row. That's all I'm saying.
Especially if he plays great and they still don't. Yeah.
I think I said it with you. If Joe Burrow gets this team to the playoffs, just to the playoffs. He doesn't even have to win a game. If he gets to the playoffs, give him the MVP because that means he's through for 6,000 yards.
Bro, yeah, no, he's my MVP pick too for the same reason.
I mean, 6,000 yards, probably 60 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. Just give him the trophy. I'm telling you right now, NFL, if the Bengals get this 7 seed like I'm predicting they are, I ain't even mad at it. Give Joe Cool the MVP trophy. I don't give a damn because that means monster numbers.
Yeah, he has a lot going for him in that regard. He's going to get all the credit deservedly for getting there, and also he's the only of the elite 4 quarterbacks who hasn't gotten one yet. So that's, yeah.
So we'll see. And then NFC, I got Philly 1 seed, Detroit 2 seed, Tampa Bay 3 seed, Rams 4 seed. Which I'm starting to have buyers beware because of the back injury with Matthews.
Yep.
About that. But I will say that if they get that 4 seed, it's just because proxy of winning the division, but it 10 wins at most in the season. It won't be like a crazy like 12-5 or 13-4. Green Bay at 5, Washington at 6. And I got Seattle seeking in at the 7. And that's where I'm kind of at that buyers beware, where I would be comfortable enough to swap LA and Seattle. As in Seattle wins that division, be at the 4 seed, and Rams sneak in as a wild card. Obviously, it's just I know I'm with you with the Sam Darnold part. All right, I need to see it. All right, I need to see you away from Kevin O'Connell. Matter of fact, I need to see you away from Kyle Shanahan. We can't act like he was with good coaches for the last 2 years.
Yep.
Right. But we've seen Sam Darnold without good coaching, and that's the one that I think has a possibility of showing up in Seattle. It's going to suck, and it's going to start wasting that good defense. But if Sam can just take that information in for the last 2 years of Kyle Shanahan and Sullivan, I think that's his name. Whatever. In Minnesota. And hopefully it can, keep back the obscene ghost version of him. Hopefully. That's what I'm hoping for. But I'm not. He's the biggest question mark for me for Seattle. And then Matthew Stafford's back is the biggest question mark for me with the Rams. Now, would a 49ers fit in all this? I think they possibly could disrupt this, but I got to see it. I got to see it because they're getting older and they're getting beat up.
Not even thinking about the Cardinals. You're to pass it on that possibility entirely.
I did think about it. My only problem is Kyler Murray does the same thing every year. Starts off hot. Then a new version of Call of Duty comes out. And then he play sucks. And then he starts getting these knick-knack injuries and his play suffers for it. Until he gets rid of that for me, I can't. I'm out on Kyler until he can show that he can give me a full array of a season of excellent play. Because you can't just give me excellent play in the first half of the season, but forget to play football in the back half.
Okay. So our NFC, we have the same division winners, but we have 3 different wild cards.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the AFC, I know you have Pittsburgh and I don't. Who did I have that you don't have? So I have KC, Buffalo, Baltimore, Houston, and then Chargers, Broncos, and who was my 7th seed? Oh, and Cincinnati. So you don't have the Chargers? Who are you missing?
Yeah, I got the Chargers out of there in place of Pittsburgh. It's something about mediocre Mike. He gets them there every year. Despite you see this guy get to the playoffs with a Mason Rudolph.
That is true. That is true. Is it because of Rashawn Slater's injury that you think that Chargers aren't getting there? Okay. For
me, yes. And I've seen this, obviously being a Chiefs fan, I've seen this from the Chargers many times. They get hit with the injury bugs, but their injury bugs is to their guys. Like they're guys on their team. It happened to Bosa damn near every year. Derwin James,
Keenan Allen.
Yeah, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Derwin James has been in and out of the lineup, whether it was suspension or injuries. And now you add it to your best offensive tackle. So now you got to take your second best offensive tackle, who could be a number one offensive tackle on everybody else's roster, move him over to his natural position at left tackle. But then all you just did was just expose, you better hope who we have at right tackle is adequate enough. I just think it's too much great pass rush on inside their division, because Max Crosby lines up on that right tackle side. He's not going to see Joe out this year. Chiefs. Chris Jones moves up and down that line, inside and outside. If I'm Spags, I'm putting him on that right side. I'm not going to, because to me, I have the ultimate respect for Joe Alt, and this is his second year. That's just the respect I have for him, how good he is.
Yeah.
But you don't have four other Joe Alts on that offensive line.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, their interior was already an issue, so losing Slater's a big deal.
It's a bigger issue. It's a bigger issue for sure. So yeah, that scares me. That one injury scares me for the Chargers, because then we know what Harbaugh is. He wants to ground and pound, open up the play action. How are you going to get there? I'm not saying they're going to be absent of running game, but it does make it a little bit of difference in getting that running game started. Just so, yeah, I'm just a little worried about that injury to Slater. I think it's a lot more than what Charger fans are leaning on. So just me.
Since we're out of time, do you want to do the NFL Top 100 next episode?
Yeah, let's we can definitely wait on that, because if we talk about it now, I will exceed another 20 minutes. So that was crazy, bro. That was crazy. So why don't y'all do this for us, folks, watching in the chat or watching on the replay? Go over that NFL Top 100 list. We're not gonna probably go through all 100 picks. We'll probably glance on a couple of picks that are like, hey man, this guy is kind of high or this guy is kind of low. If we'll talk about those players who we felt was a little bit too high or too low, but we'll focus more on that top 10 because that's where the bread and butter is at, especially when this is a list made up of supposedly NFL players making this top 100. We'll see. Again, going over to NFL.com, go over the top 100 list. We'll tap into that next week. But hey, I'll be back tomorrow, maybe Thursday, maybe Friday. I don't know. I know I've been trying to give you guys 3 shows a week. I kind of cut it down to 2 because I've been doing a lot of traveling and a lot of other things. So definitely want to always make sure we get the episode in with Randy. So hey, thank you as always, my brother, for your time, your dedication. Always. Y'all can always reach Randy Panther on Acid on Instagram. You need audio needs. And then once he gets, his law firm set up, we'll plug that up. In due time.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm always down to network.
But brother man passed the bar, so he knows. All right, he knows his law. But anyway, y'all know where to find him on Instagram. Find him either Tuesday or Mondays with me on I.O.W. Sports Show. Yes, NFL is back Thursday. Tap in with Ball and Buzz Sports Entertainment. Matter of fact, I'll be on with Omar and the crew tomorrow, Wednesday, doing the NFL preview show. So Ball and Buzz Sports Entertainment on YouTube. Tap in with them. We'll be doing that. Hey, he says you're welcome to come tomorrow if you want to be part of that. I'll let you two link up and have that conversation. That's totally up to you. But yeah, y'all know where to find Randy, and y'all know where to find me. I.O.W. Sports Network, all social media platforms. And if you can't find me there, just go on over to the Twitter page. All right, KC Wildcard Mar. That's where you can find me. And hey, I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Shout out to my bro Randy for all the good work and dedication he does for the I.O.W. Sports Network. But until then, I'm gonna holler at y'all tomorrow. It's been real. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Peace.
Yeah. Solid Hill TDS, what's up? Yeah, come on. Yeah. I.O.W. Sports Network, late night edition. Let's go. Come on.
We about to raise the bar. Wild card mark. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk. Como Modelo, let's go. Man, you don't wanna start.